You're listening to Rockwired.com, online radio that rocks. Welcome to the latest edition of Rockwired Radio Profiles, exclusively at Rockwired.com. I'm your host, Brian Lush, and the music is out there. And today we're pleased to be giving it up for guitarist Jay Katana and his new EP, Bleeding Boyfriend Vol.1. Rockwired had a chance to speak with Jay Katana regarding his new release, and you're going to be hearing that interview in just a few minutes. But first, from his EP, Bleeding Boyfriend Vol.1, here is Jay Katana with Bleeding Boyfriend. That was Jay Katana with Bleeding Boyfriend, the title track from his new EP, Bleeding Boyfriend. For more on Jay and his new release, you can check it out at bleedingboyfriend.com. Rockwired had a chance to speak with Jay regarding his new release, and here's how the interview went.
Well, first of all, this project you have, Bleeding Boyfriend, the music sounds great, and the idea of mixing it with animation sounds really fascinating to me. I'm really a big fan of sort of visual music projects, and it sounds like you've got one here. And so tell me, how do you feel about the work you're about to unleash on the public here?
I was really excited about the music first. The music came first to me, but the tracks by themselves, they felt unfinished. So I wasn't interested in releasing them just as music product, you know. So I decided to take it further, and I was listening to them, listening, and then I was picturing those pictures. And the stories appeared like one by one. The first story about the girl, and then the second about the guy. And then I came up with scenarios, and that's how it went on.
I see. And who all helped with the animation for this thing?
Oh, that's an amazing artist from India. I found him like online, and he offered to help me, so I actually did. I sent him scenarios, and he wrote everything. He drew everything.
Got you. So the songs for this project were imagined, and then the idea for the visuals came.
Yeah.
I see. And just so people know, you know, I'm grateful we're finally getting to do this interview now. But I hear you were in Russia for like, you know, and you picked an interesting time to be in Russia with the way things are between us and them. I mean, what was it like? I mean, did you get a sense that that you know the Russian people hate us, or?
Oh, actually,
Go ahead.
When I was going there, I was kind of like ready for something like that, you know, because I was absent for 5 years. But actually not. People really like America. I mean, like, people grew up like watching Hollywood movies, listening to American music. So it's really hard to hate something that you love, you know.
I see.
I mean, like, we always envied you in a good way, you know, like when, for example, when I was a kid. So it's not hate. I mean, like, maybe there is some political confrontation, but people, I think, like, here in America, people like have more bad feelings about Russia than we do about U.S.
That's probably true. I think that's more than likely true. So you grew up in Russia. I mean, how long did you live there? I mean, when did you move here to the States?
I moved here like 5 years ago.
Oh, so you've lived pretty recently then.
Yeah.
Okay. So growing up in Russia, you know, what kind of music were you exposed to initially that made you want to pick up the guitar yourself? I mean, what got to you musically?
It was classic rock. It was Rainbow, Black Sabbath, those guys. They made me like take the guitar. But the more I listened to music, the better I played, the more I started like evaluating different genres. So it became like 80s glam rock, and then 90s grunge, and then I got to modern times. And even recently, after I moved to United States, I studied like electronic dance music, hip hop, like R&B, all these things.
I see. And what compelled you to move to the U.S.? Was it to pursue music, or was it something else?
Yes, it was. It was for music, because in my country I had a band, and we were kind of like we had radio exposure. We were on TV. We were like playing constant festivals, and we were touring. But the problem was that there were no money involved at all. I mean, like, we had to have like daytime, full-time jobs to invest in our music career, but that would never like bring us money back. This is how it works in our country, unfortunately.
It kind of works that way here.
That's what I figure out after
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like here.
Yeah, but back in my country, I was like reading about labels, about like musicians signing deals and everything, you know. So I thought, but I don't regret, because my growth in my country was like limited, and I understood that pretty soon. That's why I moved here, And here it's still I'm an equal condition with the other musicians who make it. So.
I see. But it kind of sounds like you had something going on in Russia if you were on TV and all that. Did you ever, share the stage with anybody famous there, or?
Yeah, we shared the stage like 5 years ago. Not that many would come to us. I mean, like, it was some like European bands, but they were not that like world level bands,
I see.
And, but I toured a lot with like Russian famous bands, with like Ukrainian famous bands. So I mean, like we were pretty famous there. I mean, like people recognize me on the street. But the thing is, it's interesting when people recognize you and you're like doing your daytime job, and it's kind of like it's tough,
And in doing shows here, what do you feel is the biggest difference between like a U.S. audience and a Russian audience?
The biggest difference is amount of people. Actually, we live with some kind of a delay from whatever is going on right here. So our shows are still attended by hundreds of people. Here, I was like sadly surprised that like for my first show in the U.S. came like 3 guys, something like that. It was like really heartbreaking, but I invited all my friends and all my like everybody I knew. This is like I mean, like it's hard to bring people to shows here. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. That's kind of, being a person who's lived here my whole life, it just seems like that's happened more in the past 10, 15 years. Yeah. It wasn't always like that here.
Yeah, but in my country, it's like it was here, like in 80s. No, not in 80s, maybe like early 90s.
Okay.
People still buy tickets. If you invite, like you go to school, you put like 3 posters and kids appear, But here, yes, I was like kind of. But I think maybe it's a local Atlanta problem. I think Nashville, Los Angeles, New York, they're like doing better.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah. I mean, it could be all that stuff. But but talk about your songwriting process. How does how do you put pen to paper and create something that someone is going to hear over the speakers? How do you go about doing that?
It's always changing through the years. When I was in my country, it was pretty simple. Me as a guitarist, I come up with the guitar riff, and then I take it to the band, and then the singer writes like lyrics or whatever, singing melody, and then we put it all together. When I came here, it was like funny experience. I joined American band with a very talented songwriter guy. He was singing and he was writing the songs and everything. And I remember like when he would show me his raw song, not finished. And I would like play something along it. He would say me something like, no. Like, play something red, or play something yellow. And I couldn't understand what he wants from me. But then I started like I started understanding that he wants me to visualize something. I mean, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a breaking moment for me. I stopped like looking at my guitar neck, like 5th fret, 6th fret. I started like thinking like visually those layers and everything and textures. And this is how I write right now. I mean, like that experience really helped me.
I see. And, I think you picked a really interesting, I mean, with YouTube being as big as it is, I think Bleeding Boyfriend is something that could go over really well and very easily with people. And so tell me, I mean, once it's out there, is there going to be a tour at all?
Actually, yes, that's what I plan to do. The only thing that's kind of like stopped me is finding the right members for that. That was more like my goal, to put a band together that would play electronic dance music, but performed by real music instruments like guitar, drums,
Right.
And actually, my dream goal is like to have a singer and to have actual songs, like writing it. I mean, like singing in that style.
I see. And what would you like someone to come away with after they see and hear this thing in one shot?
You mean the audience?
Yeah.
I really wanted to connect to everybody because I really wanted like to somebody like when they watch those videos to feel like personal connection. Like, because, I mean, like, first story is a girl story, and I'm pretty sure every single girl went through something like that girl. And second story is about a guy, so every guy can, like, find himself in the second story. And then the third story is when they meet each other, and it's like, how it ends. And then, I mean, like, that was my goal, like, to connect to any single guy from the audience to be connected on a personal level.
And with this, project sort of behind you, I mean, in terms of, getting it produced and recorded and all that, what's next for you musically?
I would love to develop it. Put the band together, to put together a great stage performance with the visual being shown on a big screen behind the band playing. And yeah, finally if it's going to be a singer, and we would release, for example, Volume 1, Volume 2, and every single release will be like a different story with different, where the songs are like the chapters, and just like that, and hopefully making a franchise, Bleeding Boyfriend, with comic book series, with a lot of ideas. But everything needs to start with the band, finding the right people.
For more on Jay Katana's new release, check out www.bleedingboyfriend.com. And here is Jay Katana once more with their story. That's going to do it for this edition of Rockwired Radio Profiles. A special thanks goes out to Jay Katana for his time and his music, and a very special thanks goes out to Doug Deutsch of Doug Deutsch Publicity Services. For Rockwired, I'm Brian Lush, and remember, keep your eyes forward, never look back, and make it up as you go. Rockwired Radio Profiles is powered by Rockwired Media LLC, a limited liability company, and is available exclusively at Rockwired.com. Online radio that rocks.